Good day to you one and all, and welcome to another episode, the final episode of 2025 for the Broad Points Podcast. I am your host, the broad that points, the broad with the points. It's me, Tyler the Lady. To start off this podcast, I want to say happy holidays, and I hope that this year has been, good to you, that you have been good to yourself in this last year, and that as we wrap up this year, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I think we all need to hear it from time to time that someone out there is proud of us. Whatever you have done, I am proud of you. I'm proud of you for all of your accomplishments, for making it through. Maybe it wasn't the best of years. Guess what? You made it. You made it through another year, and this next year can be whatever you want it to be. It really can. And so let's jump in with the fundamental phrase for the week, and let's get this show on the road, right? So the fundamental phrase for this week, it is, where your focus goes, your energy flows. Yes, wherever we are focusing, that is where our energy is going to flow to. And so when we're thinking about, this past year or what is going to be upcoming in this next year in 2026, it is crucial that we pay attention to what we are focusing on, because that is really going to cultivate this next year. It's going to cultivate our environment, our circumstances. That's where our energy is going to flow with what we're focusing on. And so I talk about it as in going into the future. I also talk about it for reflections of the past. And I believe it is important that we're recognizing the gains over the losses, right? The wins versus the losses, if you will. And especially I'm thinking about, working out, or everybody talks about going on a weight loss journey rather than, a strength building journey. It's a completely different way to frame things versus what we're losing, time maybe on the run that we don't want to go on, it's framing. And the way we frame things drastically alters how, we want to do it, and, how we show up to do it. So instead of thinking about running to lose weight, for example, or running to, be more fit, let's focus on the gains of it, right? We're gaining discipline. We are gaining our cardio, right? Improved cardio. We are gaining or building muscles in our legs. We're building our lungs, improving all of our functions, our respiratory function, all of these beautiful things. There are things that we're gaining instead of what we're trying to lose, right? Or escape. Ooh, escapism is a big one, right? Escapism. Oh, I just have to get away from these feelings. Well, when you just have to get away from something, when you're just trying to escape, right, your present state, your circumstance, whatever you want to call it, it really just doesn't feel great. It doesn't make you want to keep doing it. And really, the best of anything, the best diet, the best workout, the best, lifestyle is one that you can stay consistent with. And one that we don't have to take a vacation from. If we're just constantly doing things as punishment for, where we are, this is just not very nice. It doesn't make you want to keep doing it. You tend to get more bees with honey than vinegar. I think that's the saying. I'm not sure. But I know that, like, for me, for example, I would much rather have some honey just straight up than I would some vinegar. So just think about that. Be nice, right? Be nice. And as we move into this next year, it is a great time, to prepare. Prepare for the year. Maybe you started earlier in the month, earlier in this present year to prepare for next year. There's still time. You still have time to hit the ground running, in 2026, to maybe just really wrap up and give yourself closure on 2025. And moving forward, intention paves the path to purpose. If you're feeling like maybe you're flailing around, which sometimes we do from time to time, we have the opportunity now to really focus on what do we want our purpose to be? How can we live this next year with intention to get us there, right? What do we want to achieve? What do you want to achieve? And then write it down. I cannot overstate how important, impactful writing it down is. I started writing it down. I got this, I've been writing stuff down for forever. My whole life I've been writing stuff down. But I just started having a planner consistently. And within these planners, I started actually writing goals down. Before I was just kind of documenting, like, this is what I'm doing, like, this is my life. And, that's one way to do a planner. You can also set goals. What? You can set goals. Yes, you can say, I want to accomplish this. And by writing it down, it's just a little bit of accountability. You don't even need to have a person. It's helpful to have people to check in with, but you don't even have to have a person. You just have it in your little notebook. And as long as you keep that notebook present, or you keep, maybe it's a thing in your phone, maybe you have an app that you utilize that you go through that you're consistently checking in with, guess what? It makes a difference. I personally, writing stuff down physically on paper, for me, there's something about it that just for me personally, like I said, personally here, it clicks. It makes me actually feel accountable, having the physical reminder of like, oh, I don't have to have my phone charged in order to see my goals. Like they're always there. They're always there. They're always accessible. And by making a plan, we have like little checkpoints. Think about it as if you're playing a video game and, throughout the year, you're like hitting those checkpoints. You're leveling up because if you keep going, you keep growing. Oh my goodness. Yes, you do. You get to keep growing as long as you keep going. Don't give up. Never give up because you're doing great. You're doing great. You made it through a whole nother year. That is amazing. Blessed to have another year on this planet, to have more opportunities for just gratitude, honestly, for things to be grateful for, whether that's meeting new people or going new places. The world is your oyster. The world is your oyster. I know I am going to the end of the year has just been a blur. Honestly, I have been just so busy and I'm loving it. I'm loving life. I managed to send up Christmas presents in time for my family to have them for Christmas, which is a big deal. You guys, I don't know if you realize with how much like packages are being shipped these days, everybody just assumes it's just a piece of cake and it's just shipping costs a lot of dollars. Shipping costs a lot of dollars. Packages take up a lot of things. And for things to get from point A to point B in however fast you have them shipped, it's impressive. It is impressive. So if you work in the postal service in any way, if you're delivering things, shout out to you. I mean, thank your postman, your postwoman, thank them. because that's very impressive. And all of my gifts got there. I went out and I made these customizable blankets for everyone in my family because they live in Washington and it's cold there. And so everyone got their own blanket, but on each blanket, it had pictures of us. So me and that specific person. So my sister got one of her, my niece got one of her, my dad got one of him, and my mom got one of her. So everybody got their own blankets that also have my face on them. So that it was like I was hugging them when I wasn't even in there. So shout out to USPS for getting that package there in time. I also shipped up some other stuff, but it's just impressive. It's just impressive. So, happy holidays. I wish everyone the most happy of New Year's. May all of your dreams and more come true in this new year. I'm telling you, if you write them down as goals, they can actually happen. If you actually prioritize your dreams and make them goals, you can accomplish anything that you set your mind to. That is one thing that I was really blessed with in my family, was always being told that I could do something. No matter what I did, no matter what I wanted to do, I could always accomplish whatever I set my mind to. And one of the new things for the new year is improving my balance. I'll go into this. We're going to talk about this. Balance is important. It's just, to be able to catch yourself, to be able to move through this life, this ever evolving and shifting world and planet. It's important to be balanced, both in, physical, mental, emotional. Balance is important. So I'm working on my balance in all things I'm going to work on, but balance physically. I got this thing called a Gibbons board, and I asked for it for Christmas. So shout out to my mom for buying me this Gibbon board. It's a slackline board. And I always thought it was fun to watch people that were slacklining over rivers, because when they fell into the river, and that always seemed like the best place to try it. But I was so afraid to just eat shit immediately off of where the slackline was tied to. So I didn't do it. But now I have this slack board in my house, which makes it approachable. And, I'm not saying I'm going to go out and become a tightrope walker or anything like that, but now I have the option. No, it makes it a fun little game though to have in my house, and I can just be doing other stuff. I've been just standing on it when I'm working, and I have my desk to balance with a little bit, but when I'm not actively working, I can move back and forth and just realize how terrible I am at this slack line. But I don't know about you, but sometimes when I'm terrible at things, it just makes me want to be better at them. And like I said, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. I'll say it time and time again. And so having physical balance can translate into having emotional balance and having, just treat yourself well. Mental balance. Treat yourself well. Make goals, have goals, and make them fun. I mean, I think that it's so easy to just be overly critical and hard on ourselves and not have any fun in the things that we're trying to accomplish. And it's important to have, again, balance between all of them. Recognize that we can have personal goals, we can have financial goals, we can have spiritual goals. There's all sorts of different goals that we can set and stride to accomplish just all of the time. You don't need the new year to do it, by the way. You can just be setting goals whenever. Let's say you're not even listening to this podcast when it comes out. Maybe you're listening to this podcast in March of 2026. I don't know you. I don't know your life. You can set goals at any time. You can, if you want a planner, you could go out and buy a planner. I was actually looking for a new planner. I've been very consistent with this other planner. This year I decided that I did not want to write all of the days into the planner, which there are a lot of those. You got to write every single date and it's just, I didn't want to do it this year. I wanted to try something else out. And this one, it has like separate little areas for your notes, for your to-do list. You've got that per day, you've got that per week. And then on the year, you have, an overview of your goals. And it has health goals, financial goals, spiritual goals, career and education goals, and other goals. And moving through life, having goals in multiple places, having multiple goals for multiple of those sections, it just means that we're growing, we're becoming a robust human being, individual. That's great. We want to grow in all aspects of our lives. I mean, we don't just want to become stunted and just not grow at all, because if we're not growing, we're not changing. The world's not changing. And I mean, I don't know about you. I think we could stand for some change. We could. And rather than focusing on what we want to lose from this current world, we can focus on how we want to improve it, what we want to supply it with, right? How do we want to contribute? Believe it or not, life is about contributing. It is. It's about, going to work and providing a service that, makes this planet possible, that makes life for everyone possible. Even if you're a homesteader, you're doing a lot of stuff. Oh my gosh, if you're a homesteader, that is so wild. Just the amount of work and lifting, and you do it all for yourself. That's got to be empowering. Truly. I mean, I do a thing for a company who supports other people doing that. I make people's lives easier. You make your lives, wow, impressive. You don't have to go to the store. You don't have to deal with traffic. Easier. We could say you make your lives easier. It's just framing. You guys, framing. It's just a little flip of the switch. Just a little flip of the switch, and we can move into a whole other state of being. It's a fun little trick to play on yourself, right? If you want to be playing tricks, this is a fun little one to do. And like I was saying before, I have had very happy holidays. I'm wishing you the happiest of holidays. Holidays will continue to happen as the year goes on. And also, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Do you need some new shoes? Because you didn't get them. Maybe you didn't get your new shoes during Christmas. You were waiting. And now you want to buy yourself some new shoes. Guess what? You can do that and pay me utilizing my Xero affiliate link. Xero with an X, you guys. xeroshoes.com/go/Tyler the Lady. And maybe you don't want shoes, and that's okay too. Maybe you want to wish me some Merry Holidays and a Happy New Year. You absolutely can. You can follow me on social media at Broadpoints or at Tyler the Lady. And if that's not for you, I completely get it. I just am barely even on there these days, but we do our best to stay connected. We do our best to contribute. And so if you want to message me via email, I still support that. I need to check my junk folder. As I'm saying this, I'm recognizing that should be a goal of mine maybe in 2026, is to check my junk folder more than once a year. But I do check. And you can email me, broadpointspodcast@gmail.com. I'm not saying automatically that your email's going to go into junk. I'm just saying if it does go there, I will look. I will find you. Never feel lost. You're never lost. I'm always with you. And I think that we should wrap this year up with 3 things that we're grateful for. And then the fundamental phrase for the week. So this year, I am grateful for all of my family and friends. I'm lumping you into one. You have just been beautiful. For all of the lessons, for all of the love that we have shared. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. For this planet it's just such a beautiful world, and I'm so happy to be where I am and for the opportunities that I have, and for my health, for my ongoing physical being, for just another opportunity to be here on this planet, to try something new every day. We have an opportunity to try something new, to do something that scares us, to just try. Just be out there, enjoy it. And so I'm grateful for my body, for my mind, for my spirit, all of it in one, for all of my health. I'm so grateful. And I encourage you to maybe reflect on 3 things that you're grateful for if you have the time or are open to the opportunity. Now, one more time with that fundamental phrase for the week. It is, where your focus goes, your energy flows.